When you're hitting the bag, right? I see you hitting them. When you walk, I want you to do like this. Boom, 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 boom. Let's keep for boom, 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 boom. How long you can do that? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1,
2. Jake Paul, I think when he weighed in for Mike Tyson, was 227 pounds. That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference. Almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully.
Gervonta, Tank Davis, and Mike Tyson recently linked up for a brutal training session ahead of Tank's massive showdown with Jake Paul. The gym energy was electric as Iron Mike passed on his trademark ferocity and precision. Tyson personally guided Davis through explosive punching drills, focusing on head movement, body torque, and those devastating uppercuts he's famous for. Observers said Tank looked sharper than ever, channeling that signature Tyson aggression and speed. With this kind of mentorship, Tank's shaping up to be more dangerous than ever heading into the Jake Paul fight.
Yeah. Are there any considerations when you're moving your head, like you're trying to get your head out of the center line?
No, well, you want to get out the center, but the objective for him to throw the punch before you can counter. Like if he throws the punch here, you count here, you go to here, right, and you're still outside.
Yeah, absolutely, that makes sense. So you want them to miss, and when they miss, that's your opportunity.
Absolutely. Sometimes you can punch while he's punching, you can throw boom at the same time. As he's punching, boom, you go down.
Absolutely.
It's all about moving after you punch. As soon as you punch, you're going. Whatever it is, boom, side, whatever it is, you have to go.
I love that foot movement. Is that something that Casamado taught you?
Yeah, twisting.
Twisting is what it's called.
The highly anticipated matchup between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis is officially set for November 14th at the Casa Center in Miami, Florida. Originally, the fight was planned for Atlanta, but it was moved after the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission raised concerns about the big weight difference between the two fighters.
Oh my days. Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. Is this real? This can't be real. Because he was talking about fighting Joshua, which is heavyweight, and now he's saying about fighting Tank. Nah, this can't be. It's Netflix as well. I need to go and do some checks and see if like the main pages have posted this, but Jake Paul's posted it. It says Friday, November 14th. It's in Atlanta, State Farm Arena. This is random, no?
Mike Tyson, who's already shared the ring with Jake Paul, has issued a warning. He knows exactly how unpredictable and high pressure it is to face Paul, but he also knows the danger of stepping in with someone as explosive and technically sharp as Davis. Tyson admits that while Paul may have the edge in size and youth, Tank's speed, timing, and knockout power make him a serious threat, no matter the weight gap. His message? Jake might be underestimating the danger coming his way.
I think Gervonta Davis is probably the greatest fighter around now, but he's got a tough fight coming up. You know, he's the top dog. There's no doubt about it. He showed that. But Barrios, he's a pretty good fighter. Last time I saw him fight, he was pretty durable.
Interestingly, Tyson also admitted that Jake Paul's punches caught him off guard. He said his entire body was sore after sparring with him. A shocking confession coming from a man known for his own legendary knockout power. This wasn't casual praise. Coming from Tyson, it means something. It proves that Paul's strength is very real, not just internet hype, and shows his dedication to proper boxing training. Jake isn't just a YouTuber playing fighter. He's a legitimate athlete capable of landing serious damage.
Oh, no, I don't remember the fight that much. I kind of blanked out a little. Listen, know what I remember? Coming back from the first round, and then the next day I remember Jake is doing some kind of, I don't know, what was he doing at the ring?
Oh, yeah, a little bow at the end. He bowed.
And that's the last thing I remember. You know, but the day after the fight, right after the day after, I woke up and told my wife, why did I do that? You know, I don't know. I just don't know what the hell goes on.
What did you think of Jake's power, man, when you were in there?
I don't remember it. But my body was really sore. Yeah, my body, my chest, my stomach and stuff was really sore.
Fans and analysts often compare Gervonta Davis to Mike Tyson, citing their ferocious knockout power, aggressive mindsets, and larger-than-life presence. But there's always context. Davis fights in a different era, a different weight class, and a completely different boxing landscape. Tyson's legacy was built in a heavyweight golden age. a run so brutal it still defines boxing history today.
I mean, I have to ask you, would you ever remake your famous video game? Bring it to the next generation consoles, my friend?
Hey, I'm just happy to be alive. Thank
What
you.
about, I mean, what do you think about people comparing Tank Davis to you? I mean, what do you think about that?
Tank is a great fighter.
You think he's a great fighter? But what do you think about them comparing him to you? I mean, you're a legend, my friend.
Well, he'll be one too if he keeps fighting.
Oh, okay. All right, well, thank you. Okay, bye.
Davis, however, doesn't fully embrace the young Tyson label that he's made it clear in interviews that he sees himself as more of a boxer-puncher, while Tyson was more of a brawler, relying heavily on intimidation and raw aggression.
Do you feel like you're the mini Mike Tyson?
Nah,
What do you call your style?
I don't know. I think I'm a boxer puncher.
What was Mike Tyson?
He was a brawler.
Brawl means more than one person.
A brawler, like somebody that's like,
So he knocked people out real quick. You knock people out real quick.
yeah, but I can knock you out like,
So you saying that you can knock him out faster than Mike Tyson, probably, if it was a challenge?
no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like, Mike Tyson got power and skills. I feel as though like I have like the whole pack. I don't know, I'm me.
When Tyson was asked about the comparisons, his answer was blunt. He said, maybe just getting in trouble with the law. Other than that, no. It was a sharp, honest response referencing Davis's past controversies, and a clear sign that Tyson doesn't see Davis as his mirror image.
For Tank Davis, a lot of people say he reminds you of them. Does he remind you of yourself?
I don't know. Maybe just getting in trouble with the law. Other than that, no.
Davis hasn't always treated Tyson as an untouchable idol either. After Tyson's loss to Jake Paul, Tank questioned why the legend stepped back into the ring, suggesting it might have done more harm than good to his legacy. That comment showed Davis isn't afraid to criticize even the greats. But now, the tables have turned. By taking on Jake Paul himself, Davis faces the same backlash he once directed at Tyson, accused by fans and purists of chasing spectacle over sport.
Do you think that it's fair to call them boxers now? Let's talk about Logan Brothers.
I think it's okay to call Jake Paul a boxer. The only reason why I say that is because he do be in the gym. He's working on stuff. The fight that he fought Mike Tyson, I don't think he should have fought Mike Tyson because of who Mike Tyson is and the age. And he said that he didn't try to knock him out. Yes, you did. You just couldn't get the knockout. Like, he tried to knock him out for sure.
How much money you think they paid Tank?
Tank gonna make upwards around 100 million.
Say a word.
Real talk, so you can't really blame him for taking that.
Many critics believe this fight is more showbiz than sport, saying it values entertainment over merit. They also point out that Davis skipped a logical rematch with Lamont Roach, a fight many felt he owed, in favor of this high-paying headline grab at a recent press conference. Davis fired back at critics, saying he doesn't care what people think and urging fans to just sit back and enjoy the show.
Look at this face-off, Henry. What are your thoughts here?
You're hearing that shit from me. That's cringe. In some weird way, I kind of like
cringe about it?
He's trying to big man the smaller guy, who the smaller guy to me is dangerous. I think Tank Davis is going to put the hands on him, but I like it, bro. I will say something about Jake Paul. He's brought a lot of attention to boxing. Tank Davis guaranteed $40 million.
If you were in that position, would you fight Jake Paul?
Oh, hell yeah. You got to give Jake Paul his flowers. Mike Tyson, Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz.
Jake Paul is a disruptor, and he's done a phenomenal job at that. You get big and famous enough to where they would just hand you the title shot and completely throw out the ranking system.
If Jake Paul was to do that, I think that'd be the greatest sports accomplishment in history. Going from a Disney Channel kid to a YouTuber to becoming a world champion.
I don't remember the last time that I've heard Gervonta Davis say, I'm in boxing to be the greatest fighter of all time. I've heard him say that he's better than certain guys in his weight class, or this kid can't beat me. I've heard that. I can't remember, and maybe y'all can keep me honest online. The last time I've heard Gervonta Davis talk about his legacy in the ring. Like I'm building my legacy. I'm trying to outdo Floyd in legacy. Like, I think it started like that for him. But the influence of Floyd Mayweather, Money Man, not Pretty Boy, but the Money Man, and building your brand and selling tickets and selling pay-per-views and becoming a household name, that's also a legacy. You got the legacy in the ring and you got the legacy in terms of how you sold. I believe Gervonta Davis is more focused on selling tickets and making money and securing his future for himself and his family. He said it out of his own mouth. I ain't got nothing else to prove. If you're trying to be one of the greatest fighters of all time, it's still a whole lot to prove. My point is, Roy, I don't think, should everybody hold this man to the standard that they hold him to and say, you not fighting nobody, yeah, you making money, but you ain't really fought nobody. If he don't even care about that, that's not even something that he's really focused on. If his main focus is the money, and his main focus is getting out of boxing without getting hurt and retiring on his own terms, shouldn't his fan base and other people get on board with that if that's not even his goal? How can we hold him to something like that if he don't even hold himself to that?
MMA brawler Mike Perry didn't hold back his opinion. He said Tank Davis isn't the knockout machine he once was, claiming his passion for boxing has faded. Perry warned that once a fighter loses that hunger, it becomes nearly impossible to compete, especially against someone naturally bigger and heavier like Jake Paul. He emphasized that with Paul potentially outweighing Davis by nearly 180 pounds, the physical gap isn't minor. It affects power, stamina, and how much punishment each man can take.
Your buddy Jake just signed on to fight Tank Davis. What do you think of that fight? He's got like 100 pounds on him.
Yeah, and they say that there's a large weight discrepancy. Like, me and Jeremy are the same size. So, it's his lower half is really small. My legs are gonna work the best that night. I have really strong legs. I'll squat twice the size that he can, and so my strong legs are gonna do work. Jake is big. Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him. I mean, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100 pounds.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult also predicted that Jake Paul will land the heavier shots in this fight. He pointed to Paul's size, reach, and raw power as decisive advantages. While he acknowledged Tank's speed and skill, he believes Jake's physicality and durability will allow him to dominate the exchanges. In his view, the size difference could ultimately tip the fight in Paul's favor.
Think of how does Tank Davis beat Jake Paul? I mean, you have Shakur Stevenson saying Jake Paul doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell, and that Gervonta Tank Davis would just outbox him and beat him on points.
I can see Tank just outboxing him and making it real easy.
And I get that, but when I think of Tank Davis, I think of a guy who kind of counters you to knock you out. I think of a guy who's not really a busy fighter. And this isn't just a size thing, because hell, if it was Jake Paul versus the prime Manny Pacquiao, I would say Manny Pacquiao because of Manny Pacquiao's style, how busy he is, how he hops in and out, I think he would collect the points. While Tank Davis, I think he punches the least amount of all fighters in the world right now. So do I think he can one punch KO Jake Paul? Well, the thing is about Gervonta has really shown a huge amount of concern fighting anything north of 135. Check this out.
He hit me in the back of my head. That stung a little bit, but other than that, it wasn't really. That's why I was nervous. Like, he's 140, so I wouldn't try to get caught too clean.
Some critics say Jake Paul's recent fights, including his win over a 58-year-old Mike Tyson, highlight a troubling pattern. They argue that these matchups feel more like spectacles than true challenges, raising doubts about Jake's real commitment to boxing. Figures like Carl Froch have even dismissed Paul's performances as hype-driven, suggesting his success leans more on entertainment than genuine skill.
Jake Paul, you've lost your mind if you think you can go toe-to-toe with Anthony Joshua. Listen, let's not get confused, guys. Let's not get confused. Yes, cool. Anthony, he took a big L with Daniel Dubois, but Daniel Dubois is not no joke, bro. He's not a joke. You know what I'm trying to say? He took a L there, but Jake Paul, I got the utmost respect of what he's done, how he's managed to navigate through the boxing world. Like, bro, it's so mad. And I can see this is like a 90%. It's happening. It's positioning. It's marketing already. Like, why would you see Jake Paul go face to face with Alexander Usyk if it's not to position for a fight for Saudi? Obviously, Jake Paul's gonna fight Anthony Joshua. There's possibly gonna be a Usyk against Tyson Fury 3 because obviously the last two were so close. But you never know. It can also be a Usyk against Derek Chisora. Do you know what I mean? You never know.
Sports commentator Stephen A. Smith has repeatedly criticized Jake Paul's choice of opponents, saying most aren't active, top-level fighters, or are past their prime. Smith insists Paul hasn't yet proven himself against elite boxers in their prime. Jake, on the other hand, claims he did try to fight Tommy Fury, and that Fury initially declined. Their eventual matchup in February 2023 became Paul's toughest test and his first real loss, coming by split decision against a fully active professional boxer.
You are beating up on dudes who don't box. They're not boxers.
I was on Disney Channel while these guys were winning UFC championships.
Okay.
You know, I was playing with Mickey Mouse while these guys were throwing arm bars and winning UFC championships. Everyone's, analyzing my career, critiquing it, paying attention to it from day one, but you can't tell me who was Mike Tyson's first fight. You can't tell me who Muhammad Ali, who was his fourth fight. No one knows, but everyone's seen all of my fights. I tried to fight Tommy Fury. Yeah, I tried to fight Tommy Fury, and he backed out due to a rib injury. Undefeated, young prospect. He comes from the Fury family. His brother's the heavyweight champion of the world. I tried to fight him, and he got scared.
Smith also blasted Jake Paul's decision to fight Mike Tyson, arguing that if Paul truly wants respect in boxing, he needs to face fighters his own age and caliber, not retired legends with decades more experience.
I can't buy the hype at this particular moment in time. Now, I'll give Jake Paul credit for this. At least he's in the ring with a boxer. But 57 years old is 57 years old. And 57 years old and formally walking into a UFC fight as an audience member, as a patron with a cane, it's hard to me to believe a year later that you're going to be in any condition to really, really fight. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. And if you're Jake Paul, here's what I want to say to you. It's Mike Tyson, that's fine. It's a money fight, I get you, and you want to make money. But at some point in time, if you keep telling us that you're taking boxing seriously and you want to be recognized as a big-time boxer / fighter, you're going to have to fight somebody closer to your age, who is a contender at the very least in the sport and who lives with it every single day. Could you please get in the ring with somebody? Pretty please, with sugar on top. I'm interested.
What did you think about the fight, Jake Paul?
I hate it. And Jake Paul's starting to piss me off. Mike Tyson is 57 years old, man. Jake Paul been training with professional boxing trainers for years. He takes the sport very, very, very seriously.
Thank you. So let me ask you, that's the question I have, because great kid, great businessman, by the way, amazing. And I know how he does all this, the character and the persona. We keep saying that he doesn't want to be a boxer. He's not a boxer. But then
Jake Paul is a boxer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my point.
Exactly. He's a boxer.
He can fight. He can fight. I respect it. So go in there against fighters. You should be climbing the ladder towards those other fighters and taking the sport seriously to the point where you're fighting actual boxers. Now he decides to fight a fighter, a real fighter, which is Tyson. But Tyson is 30 years older. Stop this nonsense of going against dudes that either ain't boxing or is 25 years removed from the sport.
Meanwhile, Jake Paul insists he's redefining boxing's future. In a recent interview, he said the sport is more exciting than ever, especially now that Netflix is getting involved. With Netflix stepping in as a streaming partner, Paul believes boxing is entering a new era, one that reaches millions of new viewers beyond traditional pay-per-view. He calls it a game changer that could reshape how the world watches boxing.
Huge news, by the way.
It's massive.
Like,
yeah.
I know we're
It's
taking it very
massive.
nonchalantly. This is going to be your next super fight. And this is
on Netflix. Netflix. Insane.
So it's another Netflix fight.
November 14th, Netflix. Hey, it's fun. It's funny. Like, actually, you kind of like pioneered this a little bit. The pay-per-view model for combat is dying, it seems, especially now with the Paramount's acquisition of UFC. It seems like free fights may be the way of the future.
Piracy is such a big problem. That's what it is.
I thought you did that with one of your fights where you were going against the piracy. What fight was that? Where I don't know, maybe.
No, I mean so there's there was like the TV era of boxing, then there was the pay-per-view era of boxing.
So what do you think? Can Tank Davis handle Jake Paul's size and power? Or will Jake prove that he's truly changed boxing forever? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.